Good morning, everybody. My name is Bahena. Remember the first time you guys went to an unfamiliar place where all you heard was screaming, laughter, and maybe a slight chance of crying? That unfamiliar place was an amusement park, which consisted of thrill rides, entertainment, and food. Food. Anyway, many of us were very young when we first entered an amusement park, and we couldn't know the name of it in an instant. But I guess it didn't really matter because that first experience was very memorable because we were there to share it with either our family or friends, depending on your case. So how many of you went to Universal Studios as your first amusement park? Okay. Six Flags? Knott's Berry Farm? Disneyland? Alright, let's see more. Well, today, in my speech, I will take you to a place, an amusement park, that is considered to be memorable, magical, and where dreams will come true when you wish upon a star. It's called Disneyland. Walt Disney. With my speech, I will help you understand how Walt Disney, the creator of Disneyland, created the amusement park, how he was able to construct it, and how he was able to maintain it. This is related to all of us because he wanted a place so we could have a bond, a stronger connection with our family or friends, to have like a little break from our life, just to enjoy ourselves. So, based on YouTube, no, let me back up a little bit. Disney was my first amusement park when I was 7 years old. And it was around Christmas. I remember because I'm not sure if they keep on doing this every year, but every December when the sun sets, the attraction, It's a Small World. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. It's a very popular ride. The building, they had a lot of lights, and it was very beautiful. And in that moment, I was at that line, at that very moment when the sun sets, and I heard a countdown. When the countdown went to 0, the lights just shine bright on me. I was very, very happy at that moment. A little blinded, but very happy. Because I was able to experience that with my parents. Okay, for my informational speech, I will help you understand how Walt Disney was able to manage to sustain his company as well as the amusement park during construction. And based on YouTuber Disneyland Park videos, he published, or there wasn't a specific author, but they published a special called The Disneyland Story on August 31st, 2012. And this special that aired in 1990 talked about how Walt Disney took his daughters to a merry-go-round on a park nearby his house. And he was just sitting down on the park bench, and he thought to himself, why couldn't there be a place where parents and children would entertain together? And so that's how he came up with the idea of his own amusement park. He started his design at his very own studios with his employees, as you can see here. And he knew it was going to be a big project, and a big project would come a lot of big problems. Not the idea of the project, but the location of where he was going to build it. So he started flying over the city on a helicopter, looking for a good, sustainable place so he could build his amusement park. He flew over Rose Bowl, and he thought to himself it would be too crowded next to a Rose Bowl, and it was going to be too expensive to build it in downtown LA. So he flew down south, where it was very clear with 160-acre land that was clear near a freeway. As you can see here, there's the freeway right here. And this right here, he found it on Orange County, Anaheim. He knew this place was going to be sustainable for his amusement park, so he started construction there. However, according to the article Just Disney, that was last updated on April 16, 2016, this project was going to be very expensive to manage. So Walt Disney turned into a popular media at that time, which was television. Yes, right here. Gather around your television. And he went to television for financial support to invest in more money. He started a series called the Disneyland, Walt Disney Disneyland, where he introduces the idea of Disneyland, his own amusement park. And he started planning out like the idea of how it was going to be built. It was going to consist of 4 lands: Adventureland, Tomorrowland, Frontierland, and Fantasyland. After construction day, after the Disneyland was finished constructed on July 17, 1955, Walt Disney specially invited 6,000 people for the opening day, and it was he opened the amusement park for the public and the next day. Even though it was a big opening, issues were going to appear, such as attractions was going to break down, and believe it or not, they had animals for the rides back in the day. But so the animals weren't going to be too active for it, so it was going to be a problem. However, he was able to maintain it with coming up with new ideas such as the Matterhorn, based on the official Disney website. They added a 147-foot high mountain bobsled adventure sled on Fantasyland and the 8-vessel submarine voyage on Tomorrowland. And that's how he increased his public demands. He introduced a new media, 3-dimensional media, called the audio animatronics that was included in several attractions such as It's a Small World and Pirates of the Caribbean. However, unfortunately, he passed away and born on December 15, 1966. And after his death, his brother Roy Disney took over his company, according to the A&E television networks. After his brother's death in July 17, 1971, his team members that worked really close and were specially trained by Disney took over. So as I just inform you about the progress of Disneyland, I would start introducing you to how they introduced more areas.
Thank you, Jose.